Maybe I'm talking about learning marketing, maybe I'm talking about learning sales. What I'm really talking about is being like Jesus. Despite what most industries will tell you, the truth is when you start a business and need to grow a business, focusing on the quality of the product for too long is actually the failing of most businesses. If I look at most businesses I've coached over the last 25 years, they have obsessed about what their industry says is important. Be a better chef or a better whatever else. And it's true that that is important. But a better chef without abundant customers really is a broke cook at home at best. And I think that the thing we get most lost with is actually developing the expertise that is important in the business, and it's probably not how good you are at the thing. You see, if you want to open a restaurant, you can employ great chefs. You don't necessarily have to be one. You must love food, love hospitality, love the industry. But really speaking, in all businesses, your ability to acquire customers on demand, which you can do quickly, easily, sustainably, and bring them in and delight them, is the mark of a great business. And I think that most people get really stuck. If I look at the KingdomPreneur business at the moment, you know, our website is average at best, huge amounts of room for improvement. Some of our quality of material we put out there is good, but it could be improved. A lot of the things that a lot of people waste time on is actually just ignored. What we focus about is getting customers and bringing them in. Now, your website really doesn't make a difference in this because the likelihood of somebody finding your website, unless you pour a huge amount of money into Google, for instance, is very slim. They're not just going to stumble across it. You know, your website when it first gets built, no matter what a web designer will tell you, will probably be on page 14 to page 28 of Google. And people don't get beyond page 3. In fact, most people don't get beyond page 1 when they look to use a service. And so we often rely on the wrong tools and spend time and money in the wrong places in order to go and get our business to grow. We can learn so much from Jesus himself. How did he grow his movement? Well, he went around place to place and met as many people as possible all of the time, introducing himself and teaching, sharing and educating about who he was as God and who God was, and then demonstrating it in practice and then inviting people with a follow me to come on the journey with him, to be a part of, you know, Jesus Incorporated or whatever you want to call it. And I think we often confuse motion and progress. And the real reason we do that is because we feel very comfortable being a chef or being a plumber or being a web designer or whatever it is. And the uncomfortable is finding the customers. That's learning the skill that you haven't yet learned. And that is where most businesses come undone. In fact, in almost all businesses I've ever worked in, that is the problem. Now, businesses face different problems. When you get above a certain level, and you're probably not there yet if you're watching this video, you know, that 15 to 25 staff or full-time employee level, you've generally not got a customer problem at that point in time. You've got a staff and employment problem, and you've got a structures and systems problem. But to start with, up until that first 15 to 25 staff, the only thing, or employees, the only thing that you need to focus on is consistently getting customers to buy from you in numbers bigger than you can service, delivering delightful experiences to them, way beyond what it is they're expecting, and doing that consistently and getting that customer to repurchase from you multiple times. Ideally once a month for many years, but if not once a year, but ensuring that lifetime value of the customer is there where they keep on buying from you in a way or in some way, or referring friends or family to you. And so the thing that you really need to focus on from micro business to medium-sized business is simply your customer acquisition journey and avoiding the trap of outsourcing it to somebody else. You know, there are some incredible outsourced marketing businesses out there. Like there's 3 in the whole of South Africa. All of the rest of them really don't know what they're doing. And what happens when you give your marketing to a company that doesn't know what they're doing, and there's only 3 in the whole of South Africa, and probably no more than 40 in the whole of the United States, is you actually give away the steering wheel for your car to an unqualified driver on the ice, and then you sit in the back and expect to stay safe and the car not to crash. This really is the thing that you need to learn yourself. Or if you're going to use one of the few businesses who can do it for you, they're probably going to charge you a significant amount. And that's a great indicator that they probably can do a good job. And so maybe I'm talking about learning marketing. Maybe I'm talking about learning sales. What I'm really talking about is being like Jesus, acquiring human beings. You know, net worth of a business owner is really the number of people you've got in your phone who you could phone at any one point in time, and they are delighted to pick up the phone and have a conversation with you. And the more of those that are ideal customers or potential referrers for you, the better. And so how big's your network? You know, the network is your net worth is one of the oldest sayings on social media and about business. And yet it's a universal truth that keeps on coming up and will always stand the test of time. And so grow faster than you feel comfortable. Become an expert at bringing new customers on board as quickly as humanly possible. Service them with excellence and pay other people to do the servicing for you, even if the customer doesn't know those other people exist. That will help you grow not just a business that might sustain you, but an empire that could be inherited by your children's children.